Chapter 2. Basic Desires Common to All Humans. What I have observed is that there are several common denominators which are recurring themes in the human experience. This book and the SOLYD system will make you become aware of how exactly you have received from the universe the good things which you have and how to reproduce those results for getting all you desire. The SOLYD system will also help you to understand that there is no such thing in life as luck or randomness, that you are actually at the helm of your own ship, steering and guiding your life situations and its circumstances. This book will give you definite insight into yourself as a spiritual being, currently having a human experience, and how to contact and receive direct guidance from the supreme divine life force at will. This book will give you an understanding that there is one supreme being from which all life flows and of which you are intimately connected. Many prophets, teachers, and successful people of the past and present have known this fact. In fact, it is the only way to achieve a completely integrated life of spirit and body. Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to have all the possessions in life you desire? Do you want to enjoy vital, good health? Do you want to be able to provide gifts for loved ones without any limitations? Do you want to enjoy passionate, romantic love? Do you want to feel close, connected friendships? Do you want to feel like you matter to the world? Do you want to explore places on Earth you haven't yet been and return to some of the places that you've enjoyed the most? Of course you do. We are all interested in these basic things. We want love, happiness, and freedom. We all want our basic needs easily met without strife or conflict. We want to laugh, love, feel loved, feel important. We want to have abundant good health and not suffer. We want to have the things that we desire, do the things we desire to do, and follow the desires that are in our hearts to pursue. All of us choose a hug over being spit in our faces. We all want to be smiled at rather than snarled at. We all want to say, "Yes, I can," instead of, "No, I cannot." We all prefer that people think of us in a good and important way rather than worthless and rotten. We all prefer to eat delicious meals than to be starving. We all want to be in vital good health rather than tired and sick. We all want to bestow gifts unto others instead of feeling or saying, "I'm sorry, I can't afford to do that for you." We all want to see ourselves and our friends and our family prosper, not suffer and struggle. We all want our neighbors to be friendly towards us, not violent. We all prefer to feel loved and wanted than to feel lonely and unwanted. These are the very basic desires which we all want.
I am a messenger, spreading my word across the land, speaking to my fellow man. Yeah, yeah.
Chapter 3. There is an exact science to living a fulfilled life. There is an exact science to living a fulfilled life that has nothing to do with luck, random good fortune, superstition, devoted religious rituals, practices, or actions of a past life or other karma. The objective of this chapter is to show you in perfect clarity that there is an exact science to the attainment of the things in life that you desire. It is important that you are open to challenge and eliminate false beliefs which you may hold that may be getting in your own way. You must stop telling yourself that you can't and you won't, and begin telling yourself that you can and you will. This chapter will identify the common areas that people focus on that they falsely believe lead to success or failure in life. After we cover all the things that do not lead to success or failure in this chapter, we will clearly identify exactly what does lead to success and or failure in the next chapter. No person is kept down by a lack of opportunity due to circumstances, situations, or a limit of the limitless supply. Although it may seem that way from the surface, when we look into the matter a bit deeper, we find exciting and empowering information. There is no lack in supply from the infinite. We all have the same opportunity to succeed, and I'm going to show you throughout this book how and why this is a proven fact. It is your right to rise up with grace and abundance to live a blessed and happy life, blessing those around you as you go. Not the environment. If becoming fulfilled in life and living a prosperous life was a matter of environment, then all people of a certain area would become rich and happy, and those of other places would suffer and struggle. All members of certain households would prosper, while people outside these households would struggle. We clearly see that this is not the case, as people in all geographic areas prosper and struggle. We often see that two people raised by the same parents have very different outcomes in their life. World champion athlete and former NBA head coach Avery Johnson was born and raised in a low-income housing project in New Orleans. Avery Johnson has gone on to become a multi-millionaire, happily married family man, successful mentor and role model in his community, and author of a fantastic book, Aspire Higher. In great contrast, but to illustrate the point that I'm making, the infamous Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle, were convicted of brutally murdering their parents in cold blood in 1989 and will live their entire adult lives in prison in terrible circumstances. These brothers were born and raised in a wealthy household, in an affluent neighborhood, sent to private schools and given every seeming advantage and opportunity from the beginning. If you have ever thought that being born rich would make your life easier, or if your family had more money, you'd be successful, then take the above examples to heart and realize that while it may seem that way on the surface, you must look deeper into the matter and realize that lack of money does not mean lack of opportunity. Also, an abundance of money doesn't mean you'll be just living life on Easy Street. Thus, we must look past appearances and get down to the truth of this dynamic. To a small degree, location counts, inasmuch as you're more likely to succeed in life at being a fishing boat captain if you're living close to the sea instead of where you are landlocked. You're going to have an easier time teaching ice skating lessons in a colder climate where there are more ice rinks than in Costa Rica. The good news here is that the universe, God, will guide you towards the sea if that is your divine destiny, or towards a land of many skating rinks if that is yours. Therefore, we can conclude from this section that success is not dependent upon your environment. Not your education. If succeeding in life had to do with your level of education, then all people with a high level of education would be successful, and all those without education would fail. Bill Gates never finished college. Ben Franklin never went past the first grade. Thomas Edison had no formal education. Henry Ford grew up on a farm and had little to no formal education. Abraham Lincoln was president of the United States, and he went only to a few months of school. Frank Lloyd Wright, one of the most famous and successful architects of all time, never got a college degree or even a license as an architect. George Shinn, founder of the New Orleans Hornets and owner of the New Orleans Hornets, graduated last in his high school class. I would suspect that Mr. Shinn is probably the most successful member of that class that considered him last. Of course, many people who receive a lot of education also do succeed. Deepak Chopra has a very high level of education as a medical doctor. Conan O'Brien, the talk show host, graduated from Harvard. Oprah Winfrey is a university graduate. My friend and NFL tight end Eric Johnson is a Yale graduate. Dr. Seuss was a medical doctor and highly educated. Donald Trump has a degree from the prestigious Wharton School of Business. I suspect all the people involved in the Enron scandal were university graduates, many with graduate degrees too. I know for a fact that there are plenty of unemployed and unhappily employed people with high levels of education. So you see, people at all levels of education succeed and fail. People with great degrees live unfulfilled lives, and people with minimal or no schooling invent things like the electric light, the automobile, the abolition of slavery, and impact all of our lives in immeasurable ways. From these observations, we can conclude that education level is not responsible for your level of success or failure in life. Not your religion. People of all religious backgrounds succeed and fail. People who practice the same rituals and attend the same services have very different life experiences. If religion was the basis of success or failure, then all those of a certain religion would be happy, successful, and fulfilled, and those of other faiths would struggle and suffer. This is clearly not the case, as Jews, Catholics, Buddhists, Hindus, Taoists, Muslims, atheists, and persons of all faiths succeed and fail. Some members of your congregation are successful, and some are not. Therefore, again, we can conclude that it's not your religion that is responsible for your level of success or failure in life. Not your talent level. Many very talented people fail, and many people with a minimum amount of talent succeed. There are plenty of musicians with great talent like Mozart who have wound up broke and thrown in a pit at the end of their lives, or worse, not even ever known by others. On the other hand, there are many musicians with much less talent than Mozart who live blessed and successful, fulfilled lives. There are software programmers with more talent than Bill Gates. There were kids in school with Michael Jordan who had more talent than he did, as evidenced by the fact that he did not make his high school's varsity basketball team the first time he tried out. There are decorative painters in the world with much more talent and experience than I have, but it was me, not them, who was awarded one of the most prestigious decorative painting jobs in the entire world, only 2 years after starting my own business at age 30. Talent certainly amounts to something. You must have at least an aptitude and interest in the area you wish to succeed in. But the fact is, that's as far as talent goes. When you learn to do things in a certain way, the talents which you need to succeed are given to you as you need them. Therefore, we can conclude that talent alone is not responsible for our level of success or failure in life. Not hard work. There are some people who work long hours and grind their fingers to the bone and do not succeed in life. There are some people who work a very small amount and live blessed and successful lives. I have worked my fingers to the bone, struggling and toiling, working 60 and 70 hours a week, being miserable, and only earning around $2,000 a month. I have also worked and had fun doing it, less than 40 hours a week, and made over $30,000 in a month. There are a lot of people in the TV business who work more hours than Oprah, yet they do not enjoy her same level of success. Thus, again, we can conclude that hours spent working is not directly responsible for our level of success. Furthermore, success is not a matter of being thrifty, as many tight savers stay poor, while many free spenders get rich. It's not a matter of a certain profession. If it was, every person of a certain profession or business or trade would be successful, and people of other trades would fail. This is obviously not the case, as people in every business and in every profession both succeed and fail. In every city, people of the same religion and same trade are succeeding and living fulfilled and happy lives, while people who seem to be engaging in very similar activities fail, go out of business, and live miserable lives. It's not genetics. If it were, all members of a certain family would succeed, and members of other genetic lines would fail. People of all races and physical types from all different families and abilities succeed and fail. Therefore, we must conclude that race and genetic disposition do not determine whether we succeed or fail in life. Not a matter of superstition. If it were, all people who knock on wood and don't walk under ladders on Friday the 13th would succeed, and all of us who do these things would fail. Clearly, success has nothing to do with superstition. What is it then? We have now covered a basis by scientific observation and conclusion of the above statements of what does not make us succeed or fail in life. Now we have our minds aligned correctly to understand exactly what does lead to success and failure, so that we can be successful for the rest of our days and leave failure behind us.
I am a messenger.